Insta versus reality is very real when it comes to being a founder and a business owner, because every day there's a brand new challenge. And when you're a founder, you've got nowhere to run.
Are you guys doing it because you're enjoying the journey? Are you trying to show up every day trying to enjoy that business? Or did you set an end goal, like with Myenergi, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna exit?
It's weirdly addictive though. Like the times that are bad are like terrible, but then you almost crave the fact that you'd be able to resolve it.
Are you someone that leads with your gut?
Completely. People, especially like when you're dealing with large amounts of money, they want to see the data. But when you're in an emerging market, like how the hell can you go on data? The second that you get the data, it's already old.
And brands as well, they're so transactional all the time that you just like, right, they want to make X amount of money from you, then off you go. Be yourself, and I think the rest will generally follow. Like, I don't think you need to be glossy or anything more than yourself.
Naive enough to start, stubborn enough to finish. So that's like, sums me up.
So what is your founder's code?
Geordie, Henry, thank you for joining us on Founders Code.
Thank you for having me.
Tell us a little bit about yourselves, Henry.
So start. So my name's Henry. I'm the founder of Sult, which is a relatively new hydration brand in the UK, and basically been building the whole brand in public, showcasing sort of highs to lows of building a brand.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Geordie?
I'm an entrepreneur and investor. Recently exited a business that I built called Myenergi, designers and manufacturers of eco-smart home devices, so battery storage, EV chargers, and things like that.
Congrats,
so I'm in
by
a
the way.
interesting transition phase.
Yeah,
thank you.
100%.
Awesome. Okay, so we start with some quickfire questions, so about one sentence long. First up, Henry, would you rather fame or success? Or freedom?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom all day
Freedom.
long.
Yeah.
Founders and entrepreneurs, it can be a tough kind of Insta versus reality, if you like. Have you ever thought about quitting?
What, Insta? Or reality?
No, well, what's portrayed on Insta is not necessarily the life of the founder, right? And
Yeah.
it's tough.
Yeah,
So,
really tough.
have you ever thought about quitting as
Yeah.
an entrepreneur?
All the time. Like I nearly threw the towel in about 900 times. I'd have a breakdown once a month at least. And I'd wake up the next day and be like, oh, it's okay, I'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world. So yeah, Insta versus reality is very real when it comes to being a founder and a business owner, because every day there's a brand new challenge. And when you're a founder, you've got nowhere to run. It's just you. So some days I'd pull the duvet over and be like, not today. And then other days I'd come back fighting because you have to. You've got no choice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm exactly the same. I think it's weirdly addictive though. Like the times that are bad are like terrible, but then you almost crave the fact that you'd be able to resolve it.
Yeah.
So at the moment I'm going through a bit of a crisis with like manufacturing, that we've literally run out of stock, which is obviously a good thing, but also a terrible thing because there's no money coming in. But it's like finding out how to basically adapt what you can do, because it's like, what do I do now? But then coming out the other side is like, sick, that's awesome. Yeah. And then knowing for whether it's going to happen again in probably 12 hours time. So yeah, it's probably a really bad habit, but it's quite a nice thing to have, I think.
It's building resilience ultimately, right?
Yeah. Well, I think resilience is such like an overused word in like entrepreneurship, but like, God, it is so true, because like you're battered to the ground daily. But it's like a beautiful thing in a weird way.
Yeah, you're literally pummeled.
And we've all been through it. But talking about that, being pummeled to the ground daily, are you guys doing it because you're enjoying the journey? Are you trying to show up every day trying to enjoy that business? Or did you set an end goal, like with Myenergi, I'm gonna do it and I'm gonna exit? Are you, I guess, similar with Sult, are you gonna, try and exit in 3 years' time? Or was it journey or the
Yeah, I mean,
goal?
it's interesting. I think like every founder says like, oh, it's not about the exit, but like there's also the financial side of things that everybody wants and needs. And I think the first question was freedom, and you don't get freedom without some sort of financial element to it. But for me, it's a case of like, I was doing something for other people, and I thought, why can't I just do this myself?
Yeah.
So then doing it for yourself, proving yourself wrong, proving, I guess, to other people too. Like, it's nice to see things work when you put so much to it and so much belief to yourself that you can sort of do it. But yeah, I think it's a difficult one. It's really hard to explain. I'm not sure how you feel about that.
Yeah, so when I set up my business, it was purely for a purpose. Like I had no vision that I'd ever be an entrepreneur or that I'd ever exit or be able to exit, or that was an option. I never even saw that kind of money or knew that was real. Lived up north, didn't know that you could raise money, so bootstrapped the whole thing, like borrowed a loan against my house. It was literally like, I didn't think, oh yeah, in a few years' time I want to sell for millions. That just started growing. So I was enjoying the journey, like definitely. And it started with a very clear purpose, which was like energy independence for me. I wanted to take as many people off grid. And it was only a by chance meeting, by being a sociable person, networking, working hard in every other job that I'd had, where I saw an opportunity, because I met an engineer that was a genius, but had no idea how to bring something to market, or he was very shy, so he wouldn't go out there and meet people. And I guess it was having that sort of mentality to be able to spot an opportunity and then run with it. But it wasn't to say, I want to make millions or I want to be financially free. Although we all want those things, I didn't know it was a possibility. It was more of I want to enjoy my life every day, and I want to do something for me, and I want to do something that adds value to not just like the community, but the world. And I just loved that like whole mission.
Yeah.
Purpose is so important, isn't it?
Yeah.
And having the passion to do it.
Yeah.
Are you someone that leads with your gut?
Completely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So not data, because bear in mind Myenergi's gut, so gut over data.
Yeah, and it's been frowned upon at times, and it's been difficult because it's like people, especially like when you're dealing with large amounts of money, they want to see the data. But when you're in an emerging market, like how the hell can you go on data? The second that you get the data, it's already old. So it like has to be like on.
You're innovating, so there is.
It has to be on. It has to be on gut feel, and you have to be close to your end consumers and your market and who you're selling through, and you just have to be listening and monitoring the socials and monitoring the feel for your brand and adapting and pivoting quick. I don't think any spreadsheet can tell you that.
What about you, Henry?
I couldn't agree more. I'm like fully allergic to numbers, so it's the rest of these.
I love that.
Yeah. Honestly, like whenever data is sort of entered in conversation, my mind just goes off. I don't work in that way at all. I think sometimes that businesses and brands really over-index on data to the point where they don't become human anymore.
So
and
true.
I think some brands now more than ever are becoming more and more human, more and more understandable, almost like a mate. I mean, that's kind of how we built the brand so far. And that seems to be the thing that's resonating more than, numbers to people, because ultimately it's not about numbers anymore. I think we're moving from this sort of hustle culture-esque lifestyle into connection, off phone, all this kind of stuff. And I think portraying that through a brand's tone of voice and stuff like that is, well, that's how we're doing it. And I think I'd like to see a lot more brands do that, because I'm not interested in wake up at 5 a.m. running marathons and all that.
No, it's happening so quickly as well.
Yeah.
Talking about that, and time is so precious. Would you rather more time to achieve your business goals, or would you rather more money? Jordan?
Oh God, that's such a good question.
I think money at the moment, just because it is moving so fast. I mean, guess if you had more time to it, I think a lot of things are fixable with money. Like you can go after, you can find the best people, you could white label products if you needed to bring things out faster to market, you could do the big marketing campaign, like, because the time is now.
Yeah.
But I think they both bring the same thing. So if you've got more time, you can be thorough and thought out. But my gut instinct to answer was money, if it was, if I was at the forefront of the business still.
Yeah, it depends if you've got a plan or not, I guess.
Yeah,
What about you, Henry?
I've had neither of those things, so I wouldn't actually know.
We've got time.
Well, time.
You're here right now.
I mean, No, it's in terms of like, but no, in terms of like money, we bootstrapped everything similar to you guys. And I think that then creates a certain element of time, because you create your own time with no money. Does that make sense? You don't have anyone to.
Yeah, time is money, basically.
Exactly, yeah. I mean, money would be nice.
But I've just experienced that you can make a lot more decisions and act a lot quicker when you've got cash, when there's cash in the business.
Well, you're not stressed as well, are
Yeah.
you? When like running out of money, oh my goodness, your decision making goes out the window.
Completely. So I just think if you're well buffered with the money and you've got a magic wand, then you can do a lot of things.
You mentioned the kind of 5 a.m. running the marathon.
Yeah.
There's a lot of books and podcasts out there saying you could get up really early as a successful business person, entrepreneur, run the marathon, meditate and all that by 9 o'clock. Have you guys got a morning routine? And what is it?
You've asked me this before.
It's funny, I like part of our kind of like, not like brand, but I kind of joke about those kind of people, 5 a.m. have a nice bath, have my matcha latte, ice, whatever, like that guy was in Ashton Hall. Like, I mean, I don't know what you guys think, but just get a grip. Like, entrepreneurs aren't special by any means. They're actually kind of a bit odd by most people's sort of expectations. I don't know about you, but I literally wake up whenever I want to, and there's actually like a blessing in that.
Yeah.
But my morning routine is literally wake up, have a quick stretch, and get on with it.
Quick stretch. You do that.
Quick stretch.
A lot of people don't even do that.
I'm 7 now. I'm getting a bit. What about you?
I've actually got an ice bath.
Oh, has it changed though from where? Because you've
Yes.
transitioned as a founder, so that even though I've asked you before.
So I had no time, when I was building the business, I had no time for any of that stuff. Now I've got the luxury of where I've stepped back and my nervous system's regulating. I'm doing Verity's app.
She's doing my Pilates.
I'm doing Pilates. So I'm like stretching in the morning, getting my like nervous system back. I've got an ice bath, but I'm not doing it every day because it's minging. I need to just like retrain my brain and have some discipline. But honestly, like the second I wake up, I can't think of anything other than coffee, and that's annoying because it rules my life, and I've got to start cutting it out. But it's just my morning coffee, sit in my window, have a breathe, and then usually my daughter wakes up, have a bit of time with her, send her off to a schooling situation, and then do Verity's app.
I love that. Talking about your nervous system, sometimes we work ourselves so hard that, you know, we do push ourselves to burnout, whether we have to hit a goal or raising investment. There's just so much going on. What do you guys do to sort of bring yourself back down to normality and ground yourself and level out that nervous system?
Yeah, I haven't figured that out. If anything, like exiting from the executive role is the only thing that's managed to calm my nervous system down, because I've been operating at such a high like speed for so long that I think just having that, I've got the privilege to take a breath. And that's, I don't know what I'd have done if I couldn't have done that, if I'm honest. So I have no idea. I'd tried to go for a walk. I tried to put on a podcast when I was in high intensity under pressure, and actually ground, like walk on the ground barefoot, like the hippie.
Did that this morning.
I am, yeah.
Love it. Big fan of that.
Yeah, me too.
I mean, where do you guys do your best work? Because the whole tradition of working in the office is blown to pieces, and people wouldn't have gone for a walk to get stimulation for work. They wouldn't have been allowed to years ago.
No.
Where is your inspiration that you get the best from?
Yeah, mine's actually like, I am one of those people that likes to be in a noisy place, so I will go to a cafe sometimes and sit where I don't know anyone, but just background noise, and sit and work. And I feel like I just work like a speed demon. I get all my thoughts that come to me. Whereas if it's a little bit too quiet, the thoughts, I struggle to clear through them. So I like need background.
That's really interesting. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
I'm literally the complete opposite.
I'm silent.
Really weirdly sensitive to noise. Like like barking, babies crying, like it honestly like drives me insane.
There's actually a thing for it. It's called, what's it called? It's got a word,
Really?
like where you've got an irritation.
It's when there's like,
to
you know,
noise.
like when you're in like a pub, for example, and the background noise of everyone talking, it like rattles me. It's really weird.
Mesophobia.
Yes.
Yeah.
God, that's
Good knowledge.
That's so niche. I love
That was
it.
because we were talking about a metaphobia. I thought it was that. I was thinking it's a metaphobe. Yeah, that's my sister that was talking.
So yeah, for me, it's like exercise is a key thing, like going for a run or a walk. But nature is like the biggest thing for me. Like I honestly find that getting out, seeing like nature, there's something about like fractal patterns, I think it's called, where it's only existed in nature, which brings out a side to like brain chemistry that you don't get in urban spaces. And I'm like a country boy, and I'm such a fake like city person. I kind of hate all this stuff. I'm a bit of a hippie deep down. So like getting out in the woods, like that's where I really like to be. And it just calms me down. When I used to wear a Garmin, I've taken it off now because I just don't want to see my stress levels. But like it would noticeably go down 2 or 3 beats a minute whenever I was home. So I live in Sussex. Like that was a really like telling thing for me that that's clearly something your body craves. So yeah.
Interesting.
That's so cool. Fractional patterns.
Yeah, that could be a complete lie. So,
Fact check.
but you say it just confident.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing.
Well, we both run out of London as soon as we can, so it must be, and you to Grimsby, it must be a thing. Talking about places, now talking about times of the day, are you more of like a night owl, or do you like bounce up in the morning? Where are you most like productive with your time and energy?
Oh God, I actually don't know. It varies. I think when you've got kids, it like varies, it changes. I used to be more of a night owl, but now I like really freak out if I don't have a solid night's sleep. So I guess I'm more of a morning person, like and a midday, like when I've actually got, I still get that 3 o'clock slump where I'm a bit like, but I think mid-morning, midday is where I've got my most energy and most inspo. But I do still think a lot at night. Like sometimes I wake up, I've got a notepad next to my bed. I'll wake up and I'll jot the ideas down. It's like you're half conscious dreaming, not fully asleep. I get a lot of ideas then, but I'm not like up working.
Yeah.
It's so cool about the notepad. Right, that's just like the amount of times I've thought of something and not done that, and then I think I'll remember it in the morning and it's gone.
Yeah, that happens. Yeah, get the notepad.
Yeah, I've done it.
Good.
Smart, I might have to get that as well. I'm definitely night, 100%. I think I'm actually useless in the morning, so I think the night is when, it's also really annoying because my brain fully comes live about like 8 p.m. And then when I'm trying to go to bed, I'm like, well, good luck. It just doesn't happen. So yeah, I think my mind.
That's why you struggle in the morning then, yeah.
Yeah, because then I don't sleep. So because I'm just so like, I love it. So it's when you're in bed and I'm literally my laptop in bed, I'm like, I know that's such a bad habit, but I'm like, well, then I'm gonna go to bed then. So you know what I mean? So it's one of those things. I'm not like pushing hustle culture at all. It's not about that. It's kind of just like, when you're
When you love it.
it's when you love it, but also I think people's brains are differently. I mean, you clearly said that you think you're better in the morning, and I think I'm the opposite. I think everyone's different. I think that's what's good about everyone here. And you might be midday, you might be I don't know when. So I think everyone has different times of the day. I think that's what's good about being a sort of being your own boss as well. Because at my old role, I mean, that was also good about the founder. He was like, if you're if you're a bit down right now, just go for a walk, go for a run.
Yeah.
If you're not going to do it now, just go home, because I know you'll do it later on in the day. And I think that's rare. I think that's what people should be empowered to do, is like, just do it when you're going to do it in your own time. Because not everyone's day is a 9 to 5.
Yeah.
That's what I think anyway.
No,
And it'll bring out the best side of you.
Yeah. The world of being an entrepreneur and a founder can be really quite lonely. The decisions ultimately rest on you. You might have a team around you, but the direction and the decision making rests with you. Have you had that experience?
Yes, especially being a little bit more up north, because it's just in my hometown. I mean, there's business owners and there's great successful people, but there wasn't like a huge network. But I think having a co-founder has been a life hack. So like me and Lee went through all of it together. And I don't know what I'd have done if I didn't have him to like bounce things off. And I do lean on family, husband and things like that. But as the business grew and more people became aware of it, I was spending a lot more time in the city and all around the world as we grew it. And I've really found a network of founders. And I did actually through the Great British Entrepreneur. I was so used to just being in my industry and in my trade that it's a bit of an echo chamber. So when you step out of it and connect with like founders clubs or whatever, you're like, oh, I'm not crazy. I'm not crazy. Other people have these thoughts or these problems, and why am I reinventing the wheel? But sometimes when you're a little bit secluded, it can feel a lot.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I'm getting a dog. Because for me, it's literally work in the kitchen. So I'm either meeting with Millie, the co-founder, or Alex, who does our creatives. But other than that, it's kind of like you're in your own lane, which is weird. And I think people appreciate that as well. Because obviously going into the office is such a nice thing because you're meeting. I'm even here, I was just saying hello to people, it's quite nice. Because you feel like a total loser, don't you?
You're alone.
Like I'm sort of speaking to someone, I've forgotten how to speak.
Yeah, especially in the early days where you're just online building and starting to build out the brand,
But
Yeah, talking about co-founders, it's so hard to find the right co-founder. And some people, are lonely to start off with and go, I need to find one. So how did you find yours, Jordan?
It was complete accident, really. Like I'd been traveling and I came home and I was like, what am I going to do with my life? And there was this, I met this lady who said, we're looking for an admin role in this company. And that is where I met Lee, who's the engineer and the brilliant guy that he is. And we just made friends. But we wouldn't normally be friends. We were put together because we were working together. And again, it was like just that feeling that you get where you can see an opportunity and you complement each other. Like we called ourselves Pinky in the Brain. He's a tech engineer. I was like the gobby. Well, obviously, I don't judge who's who. But I was like the Pinky, the one that was the voice that was out there getting the brand out. And I think it was just I just saw the opportunity. I didn't go out looking for a co-founder. I didn't go out looking to start a business. It was just like, yep. We could really add value to each other, and you've got products that you want to design. I'm in sales and marketing. Let's join forces. I don't know how I'd go about it now if I was looking for a co-founder, but my only rule is not to go into business with friends. Like I've
done that before.
I've worked with friends and it could become really difficult, or I've hired friends and that can become challenging. Lots of times it works, but I think going into business is a very different thing. It's a full marriage. It's like contracts, marriages, and you don't want to. I don't know, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
Sometimes it works, I guess, I don't really know. But that's just my personal rule. I wouldn't go into business with a good friend.
I have 2 friends.
Oh, sorry.
I love this though. That's what we say.
Yeah.
It's like, and yet you're both doing really well respectively, but it's just different.
No, I do agree in some sort of areas. I think it's some things you need to keep like business and personal. So I completely agree with that. But other areas are, like with Alex, for example, who's the creative director, the guy who does like all of the beautiful visuals. Like we just say it how it is to each other, like do it again.
Yeah.
Whereas if it was like someone who I don't know very well or in like an agency, I'd be like, ooh, a bit sort of soft on the edges, but with him, we just get at each other. And I think because we know what we want, we don't mean it in a horrible way. Same with Millie now as well. I mean, we haven't known each other for that long, but we're literally brother and sister now. Like it's hilarious. And where we talk to each other is like questionable at times, but it's good because I think I'm sure with Lee, you're probably sometimes.
Oh my God, yeah, we've got to blow. It's like,
and you probably have sort of blurred the relationship between like actual just like co-founder and friend and whatever that would be. So I think having distinct titles for people isn't a thing.
We became friends through the process, like really.
That's
it was and really, really close. I'm so opposite to that though. Like I find it easier telling strangers that I'm not happy with something rather than telling people that I work with that are friends. Like, because I feel like the dynamic's weird. Like, I guess I don't like feeling like a boss.
Yeah.
So I'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
That's
right,
interesting.
But
Stepping on eggshells.
Because you asked about co-founders and funding, but then there's the whole bringing people into what becomes your baby, right? And you and Lee set up and you set your business up. You've got to bring key staff in and grow a team. What do you look for out of all values?
back in the day, anyone with a pulse that was anyone that was willing to help, because
Begging and pleading to come in.
you've got no money. So you're like, literally, the money that you have got is
That is
paid in
bootstrapping.
peanuts. Yeah, you're bootstrapping at the beginning, like you do beg, steal and borrow from anyone that will help. And then thank God they grow with you through the process or whatever. But then when you start making money, you can go after the real talent that you needed for that size of the business and start looking further afield. But it's definitely more of a feeling over a CV that I go for.
I haven't worked it out yet. But I think I agree. Feeling, I was saying earlier, you know, if someone's going to send a CV, I don't even look at it, because I think that's just like no effort, probably on ChatGPT. Do a video, do something wacky. That's going to get in someone's attention.
Get your attention, yeah.
Yeah. I think that shows the level of creativity or effort they're going to put into the role as well.
And again, that is a massive changing trend. It would have been CV all the way, right? And not even looking at it now.
100%.
Because you've absolutely smashed social media,
Thank
and you smashed your personal brand on social media. So what, I guess, are your top 3 tips to do that on social media?
I think just be yourself. Honestly, it sounds so cringe, but people see through people so clearly. And brands as well, they're so transactional all the time that you just like, right, they want to make X amount of money from you, then off you go. Whereas I think if you actually just go deeper and be human on social media, it's becoming so rare that people are actually craving it. I think, as we said earlier, like just be yourself, and I think the rest will generally follow. Like, I don't think you need to be glossy or anything more than yourself.
Totally. That's all I've ever done as well online, to be fair, is just share what's and all.
Yeah.
And in particular, like, I think focus on a platform, because if you put out the same content across all platforms, it don't really go very well. So when I was growing the business, I really focused on my LinkedIn, because it was the business world and what I needed to, and it was renewables focused and automotive focused. And I just kept that for that, so that I could have my other side was like for friends and family that were following me, and that just started to build a bit of a community. Like Instagram's more of a community, you show you day to day, whereas LinkedIn's like the business lessons. And I'd write articles, I'd film bits of content. I think one of my most popular posts was when I totally tanked on stage when I did a Google talk, because I came away and I was like, that's just the most humiliating thing that's ever happened to me. Like, thank God it wasn't filmed. But I came off and I was like, I just forgot my name on stage and what I do. And that was horrendous.
No way.
Well, I started strong. It was like 20-minute keynote speech, whatever. I started strong. And then just 10 minutes in was like, did I just say that? I'm terrified. Why am I here? Where am I?
Now.
What's my name? And I just walked off stage, and then I had a total cry. And I wrote about it on LinkedIn, and the amount of support and the amount of people that was like, thank God someone like is saying that, and I did the same, and don't worry about it, it makes you human. And then there was people that was in the audience going, we didn't even know. You just like, we didn't know that
There's so much of that was in your head.
Yeah, they were like, you just
Wow.
walked off. And I was like, yeah. I was like,
We
"And
thought
I'm
you were
finished."
finished.
Yeah, I went, and I'm finished, bye. I walked off and then just went and cried.
Because there's an element of perfectionism, and there's a lot of people that we're watching and listening that would love to be an entrepreneur and a founder, but maybe afraid of leaving their work or too afraid to start.
Yeah.
And that flips to the whole, like, what's your relationship with failure? Because to have been doing the things you're doing and continue to, you're failing all the time.
So I used to be petrified of failure, really, but not enough to stop me from doing it. So I'd just try and I'd shake it off. I'd allow myself to feel the feels, have the moment, and then like move on from it. And I'm always like one of those get back on the horse type people. So I don't like to be beaten on something. So if I have failed, I'm like, right, well, I'm booking another keynote speech and I'm going to practice, make sure I'm more prepared this time. And I think that's the tenacity of a founder or as an entrepreneur anyway. You just keep
going.
Keep on keeping on, yeah.
That's a perfect answer to that one.
Oh,
I think that's like, it depends. I mean, everyone's definition of failure is different, but ultimately, like, if you start a business and it fails, what part of that has failed? In your own opinion, like, you know, it may not have made whatever you wanted to make, whatever, but, you know, you did your own thing for 3 or 4, 5 years. that's a beautiful success in my opinion. So
yeah, I
it
also
completely
think
depends on
like
that.
failure at school is probably what leads you on to be an entrepreneur or something, or it's failure at some sort of thing in life. So when I was young, I always wanted to be a singer, wanted to be a dancer, but I never did it. So then I was like, what am I gonna, I saw that as a failure in my eyes because that was my passion, but I didn't do it. So it's like, how do I find a new avenue that carves out that same feeling? Or school has said you're never gonna be able to do anything because you're not academic, like you wouldn't be able to run a business. So then it's like, hang on a minute.
Yeah.
Put me in a box, I'll give it a no. You know, like that's what actually inspires entrepreneurs. I think usually it's a bit of failure in previous experiences.
But keeping on moving forward, trial and error, but then just keep moving.
Yeah.
So is it that failure then that the worry about failure that gets that drive into you guys? Because you've got to find drive every day, especially when you fail. But what is that passion that is leading you forward? Is it because of your product or is it the problem you're solving?
Yeah, problem that you're solving. And then a big driver of mine is like constant underestimation.
Really?
So if I'm being underestimated in life at any angle, at any point, I'm like, that's the biggest fuel in my belly. I don't know whether that's ego, I'm not worked it out, I'm trying to do the inner way. I don't know what it is, but that literally spurs me on. Anytime somebody underestimates me, I think, right, well, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to do very good at it.
I love that. What about you, Henry? What's the drive?
I was just trying to think about what it actually is. I don't know what it is, honestly.
Okay.
I think the drive would honestly be just like when I hate this word passion, but like you're so passionate about the brand. Like, I think my brand is sick. I love it. I'm obsessed with it. And if that were to not go where I think it should go, then that would be like a nightmare in my opinion. So it's almost doing the brand justice. If that makes sense.
And the freedom. We mentioned it at the beginning, like the freedom's always the thing, isn't it? The freedom, and it's not like financial freedom helps and that's what gives you the freedom, but it's freedom to make your own choices, freedom to be where you want to be when you want to
Who
be.
you like work with as well.
Yeah, freedom for how you want to spend your day.
Yeah, your whole life.
Your life, yeah.
That's it, spot on. I think it is the freedom. Like you just want to keep going to the point where it's like, well, I think as you said as well, like when you don't want to go back to what the norm is. I think that's a big thing with entrepreneurship as well. It's like avoiding normality.
So true.
You just like, okay, well, what a beautiful thing to do is wake up whenever you want to, like crack on with it till whatever time it is. Like that's a luxury.
Yeah.
So I think that's another thing where it's like, okay, well, don't take that for granted.
I think I was programmed by Avril Lavigne because she had a song. She had a song called "Anything But Ordinary," and I was like, I used to listen to that as a kid and be like, she's speaking to my soul. I'm gonna do something special.
But if you believe that, and that's the self-belief that actually might be missing for some people, and then you find your passion and your purpose, you can see it, the energy coming off both of you.
Naive enough to start, stubborn enough to finish. So that's like, sums me up.
Wow, we wrap up by asking you guys your one piece of advice. So what is your founder's code? Henry, what's your founder's code?
Is that about any advice in general?
Yeah, so like starting a business, building a business.
Yeah. I think honestly it's 0 to 1. Like just start is the biggest advice I'll give you. Like everybody has probably a business plan, a notepad with ideas. Like I've got a literally notepad just full of ideas, half are terrible, but there's ideas, right? But the biggest thing is just crack on with it. Because if it fails, right, sweet, go on to the next one, go on to the next one. You know, I've had 2 failed businesses so far. I'm 27 and I'm hopefully this will not be a failure. But if it does, I'll go again. Like it's just start the thing and it'll work itself out.
Yeah.
Most people don't remember that.
That's great advice.
No.
I think a big thing for me is sales, like focus on sales. So many people build a brand, have these ideas, but then it's very difficult to raise money, raise cash, do anything, have cash in your business without a focus on sales. And I know that sounds so simple, but people avoid it, like won't just pick up the phone, won't do deals, won't speak to people. Like actually try and lead with a bit of commercialism first. Everything else doesn't have to be perfect and polished. People will invest in you once you start moving, you've got the cash, you can develop the brand.
Yeah.
So I'm always, if I'm like investing in a startup or something, I look at someone that's actually got an order book or, you know, even a newsletter subscription that's saying like, that's got the interest, that's registered the interest, they've gone out there, they've put the groundwork in and the legwork. Sales is everything.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's been brilliant.
Yeah.
You're both so different in the way you do things, but you're both awesome entrepreneurs. Which I think is a key part of the message here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's it. Thanks, guys.